Hello and welcome to this lecture. Before we begin, I want you to think about something very simple but very powerful. How many times in a day do you use the word common in your speaking, your writing, your messages, or even your thoughts? And have you ever wondered that a single word change can completely upgrade the way people perceive your English, your confidence, and even your intelligence level? Today's lecture is not just about vocabulary. It is about transformation. We are going to take one of the most basic words in English, the word common, and replace it with a much more powerful, precise, and formal alternative, the word prevalent. By the end of this lecture, you will not only understand the difference between these two words but also feel confident enough to use them naturally in real life, academic writing, professional communication, speeches, and content creation. This is going to be a deep, detailed, and engaging journey. So stay focused, because every section builds your understanding step by step. Let us begin with the foundation. The word common is one of the oldest and most frequently used words in English. It comes from the idea of something that is shared, something that belongs to many people, or something that happens regularly. In simple terms, when we say something is common, we mean it is not rare. It is not special. It exists in many places, many people experience it, and it happens repeatedly in everyday life. Common is a simple word. It is easy to understand. It is used in daily conversation. It is friendly, natural, and very flexible. That is why learners of English often use it first. It is one of those words that becomes part of your basic communication toolkit very early. For example, when you say common food, you mean food that many people eat regularly. When you say common habit, you mean a habit that many people share. When you say common mistake, you mean a mistake that many people repeatedly make. There is nothing wrong with the word common. It is correct. It is useful. It is natural. But here is where things become interesting. English is not just about correctness. It is also about impact. It is about precision. It is about tone. And sometimes, a simple word like common is not enough when you want to sound formal, academic, professional, or analytical. This is where the word prevalent enters the picture. The word prevalent is a more advanced and more powerful word. It also means something that exists widely, something that is found in many places, or something that is widely accepted or widespread. But there is a deeper difference. Prevalent is not just about frequency. It is about dominance within a specific context. When something is prevalent, it is not just existing everywhere randomly. It is strongly present within a particular group, region, society, or system. It has a sense of seriousness and depth. It is often used when discussing social issues, trends, diseases, beliefs, behaviors, or conditions that are widely spread and important enough to be noticed and analyzed. So while common is general, prevalent is specific. While common is casual, prevalent is formal. While common is simple observation, prevalent is deeper analysis. Now let us slow down and understand this difference in a more natural way. Imagine you are walking in a city and you see many people using mobile phones. You can say mobile phones are common. That is correct. But if you are writing a research report or news article, you might say mobile phone usage is prevalent in urban society. That sentence feels more professional, more serious, and more polished. This is the power of vocabulary choice. Now let us go deeper into the personality of these two words. The word common is like a friendly everyday companion. It is comfortable. It is relaxed. It fits into casual conversations easily. You can use it without thinking too much. It does not require context sensitivity. It simply describes frequency. But the word prevalent is like a formal speaker in a conference room. It is thoughtful. It is structured. It is used when people are analyzing data, discussing trends, or explaining serious issues. It carries authority. This difference is very important for students, content creators, teachers, writers, and anyone who wants to improve their English communication. Now let us explore the word common in detail through 5 strong and natural examples. Example 1 for common. It is common for people to check their phones first thing in the morning. This shows a daily habit that many people share. It is simple and relatable. Example 2 for common. It is common to feel nervous before giving a presentation. This shows a psychological reaction that many people experience. Example 3 for common. Common cold spreads easily during winter season. This shows a health condition that occurs frequently. Example 4 for common. It is common to hear loud traffic noise in busy cities. This shows a repeated environmental experience. Example 5 for common. It is common for students to stay awake late during exam preparation. This shows a behavior shared by many students. Now notice something important. All these sentences are easy, direct, and conversational. That is the strength of the word common. It keeps language simple. Now let us move to the word prevalent and explore its power through 5 strong examples. Example 1 for prevalent. Stress and anxiety are prevalent among working professionals in competitive industries. This sentence feels serious and analytical. It is not just saying stress exists. It is saying it is widely present in a specific environment. Example 2 for prevalent. Traditional beliefs are still prevalent in many rural communities despite modernization. This shows cultural persistence across regions. Example 3 for prevalent. Diabetes is prevalent in populations with sedentary lifestyles and poor dietary habits. This sounds like medical or research language. Example 4 for prevalent. Online misinformation is prevalent on social media platforms. This sounds like a news or analytical statement. Example 5 for prevalent. Unemployment is prevalent in regions affected by economic instability. This is a formal socioeconomic observation. Now you can clearly feel the difference. Prevalent gives weight. It gives seriousness. It gives structure. Let us now move into a deeper layer of understanding. One of the most important things to know is that prevalent is not just a replacement for common in every situation. It is not a direct synonym in casual speech. It is a contextual upgrade. You do not say the weather is prevalent. That sounds unnatural. You say rain is common in this season. But you say certain diseases are prevalent in tropical regions. This means you must learn not just meaning but also usage environment. Common is used for general daily life situations. Prevalent is used for structured analysis of patterns, issues, and widespread phenomena. Now let us expand this understanding with a comparison mindset. When you say something is common, you are simply noticing it. When you say something is prevalent, you are analyzing it. That is the key difference. For example, saying it is common for people to use smartphones is an observation. But saying smartphone dependency is prevalent among youth is an analysis. One is casual, the other is intellectual. Now let us make this lecture more engaging by exploring how these words affect your communication style. Imagine you are writing an essay. If you repeatedly use the word common, your writing will sound basic and repetitive. But if you replace some of those uses with prevalent, your writing immediately sounds more mature, more academic, and more polished. For example, instead of writing smoking is common among teenagers, you can write smoking is prevalent among teenagers in certain regions. The second sentence feels like it belongs in a report or research paper. This is how vocabulary upgrades change perception. Now let us practice mental transformation. Whenever you use the word common, ask yourself 3 questions. First, am I simply describing frequency or am I analyzing a pattern? Second, is this a casual statement or a formal one? Third, can I make this sentence sound more professional? If your answer moves toward analysis and formality, then replace common with prevalent. Now let us explore more examples to strengthen your understanding. Additional examples for common in real-life context. It is common for people to drink tea in the morning. It is common to forget small things when you are stressed. It is common for friends to share secrets. It is common to see advertisements on social media. It is common for people to celebrate birthdays with cake. All of these are simple observations of daily life. Now additional examples for prevalent. Fast food culture is prevalent in modern urban societies. Corruption is prevalent in some administrative systems. Language diversity is prevalent in multicultural countries. Seasonal allergies are prevalent during spring months. Digital learning platforms are prevalent in modern education systems. Notice how prevalent is used for broader systems and structured environments. Now let us go even deeper into why this matters for you as a learner or content creator. If you are creating YouTube content, educational videos, lectures, essays, or professional scripts, your word choice directly affects audience trust. When your language sounds basic, your content feels ordinary. When your language sounds precise and structured, your content feels authoritative. That is why replacing simple words like common with more powerful alternatives like prevalent is not just vocabulary learning. It is communication upgrading. Now let us create a strong memory rule. Common equals everyday observation. Prevalent equals widespread pattern or serious analysis. If you remember this rule, you will never confuse them again. Now let us move toward a more natural speaking transformation. Instead of saying it is common to see pollution in cities, you can say pollution is prevalent in urban environments due to industrial activity and traffic density. Instead of saying mistakes are common among beginners, you can say certain errors are prevalent among beginners learning new skills. Instead of saying mobile usage is common, you can say mobile dependency is prevalent across all age groups. Do you see how your language instantly becomes more advanced? Now let us talk about emotional impact. Words shape how your listener feels about your message. The word common feels neutral. It does not create strong emotion. But the word prevalent creates seriousness. It signals importance. It tells the listener that something is not just happening casually, but happening widely enough to matter. This is why journalists, researchers, and educators prefer the word prevalent when discussing real-world issues. Now let us bring everything together in a final deep understanding. Common is simple, natural, and everyday. Prevalent is formal, structured, and analytical. Common describes what you see. Prevalent describes what you study. Common belongs to conversation. Prevalent belongs to explanation. If you master this difference, your English will move from basic to advanced naturally. And remember, language improvement is not about replacing every simple word. It is about choosing the right word for the right situation. Smart communication is about balance, not complexity. So the next time you are about to use the word common, pause for a moment. Think about your context. If you are speaking casually, keep it simple. But if you are writing or speaking in a formal, educational, or professional setting, consider upgrading your sentence with prevalent. Because sometimes, one word is enough to change how powerful your message becomes. Thank you for listening to this lecture.